Hello, my beautiful friends, and happy 2018. Just want to check in with you guys and give you some updates. Obviously, if you're interested in purchasing a year ahead reading, I'm offering those on my website below till the end of the month. Okay, so 1/31 will be the last day I'm taking bookings for those. As you've heard me talk about prior, I do want to travel in 2018 to host some events around America. Right now, it's looking amazing for New York City, the Bay, and Orlando. Okay, I need at least a crowd of 15 to 20 people at minimum to host these events. It's looking like I could definitely do that in those cities. So drop comments below if you think that your city could, rustle up that many people, and we'll see what we can do. Also, obviously, as you can see, I don't always get around to general love readings every month, and that's because creating content takes time, and obviously my private clients come first. Now, the readings that you're watching right now will always be free and will always be done every single month, and they will be available to you. However, I want to be able to do these in-person events. I want to be able to offer you guys more free content in a different capacity and more paid services. So in order to do that, I'm considering making the monthly general love readings by pay subscription. It wouldn't be the kind where you rent them through YouTube. It would be something where you'd go to my site and you'd pay $2 or less, between $1.50 and $2. And on the 2nd of every month, it will be dropped in your email inbox as a private YouTube video, kind of like how if you've ever had a private reading with me, how those are delivered. So like I said, this isn't an effort because I don't want to raise my prices. I love the prices that I have. I think that I'm very accessible to my clients, and I want to continue it being that way. So in order to continue expanding and offering you guys more, that is my idea. Please let me know what you think if you'd be interested in something like that. As well as the lovely jewelry that I'm rocking today is from Gray Baby Gallery, who's based in LA. She has an Etsy store. I actually found her when I was shopping for myself this Christmas. And what's amazing is her stuff is so affordable. And every single cent goes to helping to provide medical care and food for the LA homeless pets. So if you're interested, check her out below. And as always, if you need anything from me, if you want to get in touch with me, all that information is below. Love you guys. Cancer, before this card fell out, when I was shuffling, I got the messages of don't let it slip through your fingers, whatever it is, and also don't bang your head against the wall. Oh, and my cat just had something to say. So apparently that's a message. So yeah, whatever it is, whatever it's been on your mind, whatever you feel like you need to seize, but for some reason you're hesitant. Because I'm getting like a fumbling vibe. Like, when you got too much in your hands. So like that, it's like, when you're busy and you go to drop something and you have to use cat-like reflexes to try to catch it. But if you're not being very keen, if you're not keeping your eye on the prize, if you will, if your head's not in the game, you will fumble. Okay? And I just split the deck and I got the Two of Cups. So the card that fell out is the King of Wands. On the bottom of the deck is the Star, which has been a very popular card this month for all signs. And the Two of Cups. So I feel this is especially true if you have a strong fire placement in your chart. With the King of Wands, with this energy, there's a need to take a very active role in creating the relationships that you desire in your life, as well as being vulnerable in relationships. I don't necessarily feel this King of Wands is another person. I think this is something that you need to embody. Cancer, which makes sense because Leo has mastered Cancer. They're very proud of themselves. Sometimes they seem too proud of themselves, but they're proud of themselves and they're confident. And it's not that you're not confident, Cancer. Like, I know you're confident in how you feel, but if people can't see how you feel, if it is not visible to them, if your vulnerability is not on display, which I know can seem very worrisome. There's a running of a risk that you're going to miss out on what you desire. Now, I just split the deck and got it in 2 4s. So this is about making something that is stable as well. Making something that has a foundation. So I feel as though, especially in relationships of all types, with the 4 of Cups here, there's offers coming in that you're closed off to. Now, obviously, everyone's situation is different, and whether or not it's right for you to be closed off, you know what I mean, is a whole nother thing. However, with the King of Wands here, you need to take an active role. So even if you don't want something that someone is offering you or you're being offered, right, especially on an emotional level, you need to make that clear, and you need to say why. With the 4 of Wands here as well, I feel like people are waiting to hear from you. Okay, whomever that is. And you know, you're taking your time to reflect on how you feel about what makes you feel nourished and seen in a relationship, what really makes you you know, what you have hope in. This is also about dreams, especially for those of you that that live a creative life or are trying to pursue a creative avenue. There's just this feeling of you cannot continue in passivity. And with Saturn opposing you for the next 2.5 years, obviously this is coming into focus because Saturn requires discipline, and Saturn requires actively creating the life that you desire in some form of structure. So you'll never create the structure that you want by just saying, which is nothing, you know what I mean? Just keeping your arms crossed, just being withdrawn. Okay. Now, if you need a respite, if you need to tell someone, listen, I need a couple days to get my mind together, then of course, by all means. And if they can't respect that, then that's a whole nother issue. However, with the 2 of Cups here, yeah, and I got the Strength card. This could be a sexual relationship, or one that is only sexual right now, or one that is, you know, very expressive, or also has been experiencing a lot of, I'm feeling like hot or cold energy, like it's very aggressive or it's very non-existent. But there's a passivity, like a conscious passivity to the Strength card, meaning like we don't have to be overly aggressive to be strong in relationships. We just have to know our connection to source and soothe our inner beast. I feel these are fears though. This Strength card is feeling like fears to me. So there are fears that you have in relationship, and instead of addressing them head on, I feel like you've just been in a withdrawal state. And again, we all need that time. However, it's come a time, King of Swords, to communicate that to whomever. Whatever it is that you've gathered, whatever it is that you're feeling, you need to come out and announce it. Okay? And it's interesting because this is an 8, and that adds to 10. And the 4 and the 4 and the 2 adds to 10. And the star is a 9. So you need to have faith and be willing to be vulnerable to end this cycle. And whether or not these people will fade away or these opportunities will fade away, I feel like it's kind of irrelevant. It's really just a matter of you're exposing yourself and making your needs and your wants and your desires known. And you don't have to fight anybody about why that is what you want. You know what I mean? You don't have to do all that. You just need to say it. There's a need to communicate. And I know that doesn't always feel safe. But sometimes the state of withdrawal keeps us locked away from opportunities that, yeah, look at that. 8 of Swords with the Knight of Swords. I was just about to say, sometimes being in a state of withdrawal, we miss opportunities to speak our truth, and then people come in all crazy, because this could be you or someone else. Then people come in all crazy like, what the F is going on? Why aren't you talking to me? Why are you isolating yourself from me? And then, you know what I mean? It becomes a lot bigger than it has to be. Yeah. Especially as it relates to things that you're passionate about, that really resonate with your soul, that are creative. You need to free yourself from this idea that if you express yourself, it will get worse. Okay? Oh my God, I just got that song free your mind. Don't be so shallow. Don't be colorblind, right? What is that song? The rest will follow. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Is that a Janet Jackson song? It's old. Anyways, let me get to this spread because I'm getting a headache sitting here with these cards. You guys have been real heady lately, and I feel like your head's about to explode off, and that's why you need to say something, even if you got to write it all down first, okay? And then, like, read off Cliff Notes or text off Cliff Notes. Like, just get it out of your head, get it out of your physical body, okay? All right, my Cancer darlings. So, this reading is very interesting. We only have 2 major arcanas. We have a lot of blue energy here. Aside from swords being, well, swords and wands. A defense mechanism. Defense mechanisms are dominant right now. And understandably so. I feel like you feel as though you're being tested. And I'm not here to tell you you are or not being tested. Because Saturn and Cap is a universal test for us all, really. Your overall energy is the Fool. Behind that is the Hierophant. I'm only laughing because I'm not a Cancer, but I have pulled the Hierophant so much recently, and it's a card that I don't personally see a lot, so excuse my chuckles. Anyways, with the Fool here, I'm feeling more than anything there's a need to release inhibitions, fears, things that really just don't make you feel good, okay? More than anything, I feel as though this is a call to really put the, how do I want to say it? The emotional weight down. And it's not because it's not valuable, and it's not because, you know, it's not important. But notice how there are no Cups cards here right now. So I almost feel like your heart, right, has become so overwhelmed. Like, I feel like your physical body has become so overwhelmed with emotion, with other people's energy, with the, you know, the duties of the world, with whatever, that you don't even know which way is up anymore. And so first I want to say you definitely need to do something on a spiritual level to cleanse your being. Whether, you know, because water signs, sun or moon, even rising, water, just like when you see it in physical form and matter, it's easily polluted. Okay, so water signs more than other signs need a lot more spiritual cleansing and a lot more regular spiritual work, you know, processes and ways of connecting with yourself and clearing your energy than others. So, you know, sometimes it's kind of a bummer because we have to spend more time being discerning. We have to spend more time paying attention to who's suiting us, who's not suiting us, whatever. But I'm feeling as though, right, it's almost like your being from the feet up has gotten so full of like energetic debris, okay, that you can't even tell what is yours and what is somebody else's. And now all of this energy, the only place it has to buzz around and bing around is in your head. It's kind of like a graphic dramatization of atoms. You know how like particles like vibrate against each other, and then when they turn into a different form of matter, they get really close. It's kind of like that. So you need to open the release valve of your mind, and you need to let this stuff escape your crown chakra. So there's really a need to again, do some sort of spiritual cleansing, whether it be a salt bath, whether it be you know, meditating consistently for a little while. I personally really love to put on solfeggio tones or binaural beats while I'm sleeping, because it's a great way to like passively meditate and clear yourself. And a lot of times you'll have dreams, and those dreams can lead you to something more, some more specific work you can do. And I'm going to start getting into dream work and expanding on how to do different spiritual processes in the near future, so look out for that. But this Fool here, oh my gosh. Wow. Like, there's so much beautiful energy coming for you, but you have to let it in, Cancer. And right now, I think it feels like it's out of your reach, especially as it comes to commitments of all types, traditional commitments as well, things that really, like, stick into your roots. Now, it's funny that Taurus rules the Hierophant because Cancer rules home, the mother, the house, our ancestors, right? So I think it's really important at this time and going forward into this year to really think about what feels like home to you. And not in a nostalgic way. There's a need to shed nostalgia. There's a need to only take with you into this year what really benefits you alone. And I know that will seem kind of foreign to you because I know that you consider a lot of other people in your decisions. And it's not in a way like Virgo does. Like Virgo, like literally it's their instinct to put everybody before them. And it's funny because we do have the Queen of Pentacles here. But there's just this overall feeling of you just allowing other people to permeate your space. And you like can't even see anymore. Like there's so much like it's like emissions from a car. You know what I mean? Like you can't see. And you have to clear that. You have to clear that space. You have to drown out the other people. You need to starkly create boundaries. But anyways, let's get into these cards because I'm just like, I want to help you defend yourself, and defend your space because I love Cancer energy. Cancer energy is beautiful and it's warm and it's compassionate. However, when Cancer is overwhelmed, Cancer, you know, not that Virgo isn't can't be crazy when they're overwhelmed, but Cancer overwhelmed is very troubled. Like you guys take it really hard and it's really difficult for you. So there's a need to reclaim space, okay? What you're being asked to release is the Knight of Swords with the rune Success and the Two of Pentacles. So for me, this is saying there's no need to jump to conclusions on what is or is not going to be successful, okay? And really watch what you speak on as far as what works and what doesn't work. And as well as listening to other people's opinion on what is successful and what is not successful. Okay, there needs to be a line drawn in the sand about what is for me and what may have worked for other people and how those don't necessarily meet together, and that's not a problem. Okay, with the Two of Pentacles here, if you continue to consider other people's form of success personal to your own, you're gonna continue to have a hard time balancing because there's something off between the life that you're living physically in this dimension and how you feel, and that needs to be rectified. And I feel this Knight of Swords is both you and other people. I think it's you getting overwhelmed with what people are telling you. So there's a need to really cut back on how many people you allow to give you their opinion. Okay? Whether unsolicited or solicited, there's a need to cut back on allowing people to comment on your life and tell you what is for you and what is not for you. Okay? As well as I'm staring at the little birds on his thing, like, a little birdie told me, like, type ass, like, that's hilarious. So, and also don't jump to conclusions on what it's going to take to be successful. There's a need here to really trust yourself. Yeah, and we got Serenity, which is the Hermit, and we have the Queen of Pentacles here and the Four of Swords. So whether this is you needing to separate yourself to really gather your sense of self again, because not that you've lost yourself, you know, you're not lost. I just feel you are bogged down and overwhelmed by what is really meant for you and what is not, because too many people are giving you their opinion or telling you what they expect from you or what they want from you. And we cannot live life for other people. We cannot live life on accordance of other people's plan. That's just not realistic. And I know that that you care about the people that you allow in very deeply. However, just because they love you or are somehow tied into your life, because another thing is too, like, family is important, but just because someone is related to you, like by blood, does not necessarily mean they have the best interest in you. So there's also a need to draw that line in the sand, okay? What door is open for you that was once closed? We have the Judgment with the rune Wealth, clarified by both the Seven of Wands and the Ten of Swords. This is so interesting. Now, if you've been struggling to feel financially secure, okay, if you've been struggling to feel financially secure, there's a need for you to not make it an emotional project, to not make it an emotional thing. And I know there's not any Cups cards here, but the Judgment card talks about a rational assessment. Again, it's not about what people think is best for you. It's not about, the way that these different concerns about gaining money pull at your heartstrings. It's about what is real and what is not. Like, what is possible and what is not. And also, with the Seven of Wands in the Ten of Swords here, I feel like you've been fighting to stay on top of the ball. I feel like you've been fighting to make ends meet. I feel like you've been fighting to just feel independent and secure. Okay, we have 2 sevens here, right? You've been struggling to maintain this level of success, this vantage point, this upper hand that you may have been able to achieve. And I need you to know that your worthiness is innate. It is your birthright to thrive. It is your birthright to be independent. It is your birthright to be successful and wealthy in mind, body, spirit, and finances. So there's a need to end, right? Put an end to this mentality that you have to struggle. There's definitely a huge, especially as it relates to finances and creating stability, particularly for your family, or so that you can have a family, right? Because we have the Fool and we have the Hierophant here and the Nine of Pentacles, and then we go into the Four of Wands. So if you're trying to build a home, if you're trying to make yourself stable to have a family one day or for your family or whatever, right, to feel secure, there's a need for you to understand that that if you continue to identify with the storylines of struggle, like, oh, it's always so hard to make my dreams come true. It's so hard to gain this. It's so hard. Like, you need to break away from that. Okay, again, how you speak on success greatly impacts the type of challenges that Spirit is presenting for you. So it's time to put that mentality to rest. Because the Ten of Swords is the ending and the new beginning. And there's something here where you're overdoing it. Potentially you're overworking yourself as well. Like working yourself into the ground because these people are coming out of a grave. Obviously no one's killing themselves like physically, but this is an overdoing it. Okay? Really, really reserve. Like, you are worth sleep. You are worth rest. You are worth rehabilitation. There's a need to take a respite. I know I just said like so many R words, but there's a need to prioritize self-care. There's a need to prioritize self-nourishment, because if you don't do anything to bring yourself back home, and when I say home, I mean into the heart, into your truest form, okay? You need to bring yourself back home to yourself. You need to stake claim about what home is for you. Even if you don't have your own home and have your own sacred space, because I feel like that may be a problem for a lot of you. Even if you're in a loving home and a loving marriage or, live cohabitation situation. Like, even if your roommate means well or whatever. When you live with other people, they can't help but dump their energetic shit on you. Especially water signs, especially Cancer, because you are so nurturing and you are so welcoming. But there's a need to draw the line and be like, listen, I love you and I care about you and I do want to listen, but not right now. You know what I mean? You need to get up the gall to do that because you're paying the price. And you kind of can't blame them if you allow the behavior, okay? Because this is all about freeing yourself and stepping into a new way of commitment, a new way of establishing spiritual doctrine as well. I feel you're stepping into a new way of identifying with your spiritual practice and finding the inner cathedral, if you will. Okay? Your current energy as it relates to all this. In your head, we have the Seven of Pentacles. In your heart, the Wheel of Fortune. And in your foundation, the Nine of Wands. The rune that we have on the Wheel of Fortune is trust. So, to get to the heart of the matter, things are always changing. No matter how permanent a situation may feel, right? No matter how binding, no matter how sticky, right? I was saying before, sticky situations. No matter how difficult, change is always available to us. Choices are always available to us. And there's a need to trust in the process and trust how you feel. But it's going to be difficult to trust how you feel at this very exact moment because, again, I feel like you have a lot of opinions swirling in your brain from other people. So once you carve out that sacred space, which Spirit is advising for you here, you're going to see where you can turn the wheel. Because the Wheel of Fortune doesn't tell you what kind of change or what type of fortune is leading your way. But it is the middle point. It's the middle point of a longer story. And then you're going from the 10 to the 20. You're like fast forwarding to the Judgment. And look at 10 here too. So 2 nines. There is change and endings of situations, but how long you resist your happiness is really up to you. Suffering is always available, Cancer. It is always available. You know, and when we try to, it doesn't matter how hard choosing yourself feels. Like, just know you can always go back to being a people pleaser. But I don't think you're going to want to once you finally choose yourself. With the Seven of Pentacles in your head, I feel like you're waiting for something to materialize. But until you have trust in how you feel and trust in what your heart knows to be true, you're not going to see anything materialize. And you don't want your thoughts to materialize at this very moment. Like, it's a blessing. But you're also worrying about when things are going to change and worrying about what you see and what you don't see. You have to remember that the physical reality that we are a participant in at this time, that we have chosen to be a participant in at this time, is merely a reflection of our inner beliefs and our existence or lack of existence of trust in the divine plan. So the only way you can command change, the only way that you can draw the proverbial lines in the sand and draw the boundaries and see the wealth that is available to you at every single moment of your existence is by going within, silencing this world, pulling a Pisces, slipping into the unknown, slipping into darkness, if you will, like the Hermit, and facing the things that have been troubling you, Three of Swords, facing that pain that has been following you for months, and then boom, Starseed, which is the Fool. We come into a whole new way of being. You need to free yourself from the identification of struggle. You need to free yourself from this emotional burden and deep distrust. And I'm feeling more than the Divine Masculine, the Divine Mother. Okay? Doesn't matter how you identify the Divine Mother in a figurehead, if you will, like whether it be more Catholic with Mother Mary or, you know, the Virgin Mary or, you know, Yemaya, Oshun, like it doesn't matter how you see the Divine Mother. But being that you are the energy of the Mother in general, the Moon, there's a need for you to really rectify your trust in the feminine. Okay? Now that can manifest as issues with women. It doesn't have to though. You know, this can just be, if you are a woman, this can be a deep distrust for your own intuition as well as a man, because Cancer energy is innately feminine. And I feel like you've been taking a lot of masculine action lately, trying to catch up, trying to fix and react to things that are already manifest. With the Nine of Wands in your foundation that is shown here, you are so afraid of repeating the past or feeling like you need to defend yourself. And he's eyeballing this Seven of Wands guy. He's like, wow, I remember the last time I tried to fight off all these naysayers. Like, it was exhausting, and I still have this bandage on my head, and I don't really want to do that anymore. But being in a reactionary state is merely just trying to correct something that you know you already know at a soul level is not for you. But instead of going outside, you need to just withdraw from the situation and turn inside. And I believe I told Capricorn, your opposing sign, that if you're constantly trying to prove your worth and constantly trying to go outside of yourself to determine what is for you and what is not, and like being active in that manner, it's only going to deplete your energy. So it's really time to return home to the source, to your own comfort, to your own body. Like take a sauna, take a bath, just anything. Go to the movies alone, do something. Please do something alone. Demand solidarity. Okay? Spirit's advice for you is the Four of Swords with the rune Victory, excuse me. Victory. With the Page of Swords. So through meditation, through withdrawal, and notice how the Four of Swords carries the Three of Swords above it while he rests on the Ace. As you allow your pain to rise up out of your body and you no longer identify with it directly on a physical level. And I totally get this because even, in these readings, I receive a lot of messages on a physical body level, and that can be very daunting. Okay, that can be very daunting. So know that to feel and perceive people's emotions, you also don't have to embody them. Okay, you can draw that line as well. I personally don't do this, but you can formulate a bubble of light, the color of your choice, around you. Call in angels, call in ascended masters, call in your ancestors. Really doesn't matter. But you will find the path to victory through withdrawing yourself, and stop having communications with people, again, that don't build you up, that don't make you feel better, that make you feel crappy, okay? Especially if, there are people that are always kind of like cutting at your words or undermining you. I'm feeling this is a very undermining energy, but I also feel like you're going to get great clarity with this withdrawal about how to victoriously attack the opportunities available to you and choose the most appropriate one, especially if this involves, again, a creative project or possibly children or a relationship. Okay? And you don't feel pressured to speak now. Don't just say whatever to get people off your back. If you need more time, or if you need to really, withdraw, like tell them, like, I need more time. And if they say, well, I don't want to get, just ignore them after that. You already spoke your truth. Okay? The most likely outcome is the Queen of Pentacles with the rune Joy and the Nine of Swords. So, Cancer. Obviously, you're still concerned. You're still worried. You're still anxious. You're afraid. I feel for some of you you're afraid about what will make you happy and how other people will feel about that. That's for some of you, especially if this involves a Queen of Pentacles, whether it be male or female, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. Also, I feel like you're struggling with the ability to create. Well, actually, not the ability. You're nervous and anxious about your ability to be able to create the life that you always wanted, especially as it relates to nesting. Like, I'm feeling like a nesting vibe. Like, I feel like this has to do with finances and creating a physical home space for yourself. But that's where you thrive. And I know that you need that. You need your sacred space. You need to step into your ability to create and command wealth, right? Knowing your worth. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. We have the Seven of Swords with the Chariot. So this anxiety and fear that you're not going to be able to create the life that you always wanted that really is going to make you happy, whether, again, it includes an earth sign or it's just you, that is a fallacy, meaning the fear is a fallacy. And it's blocking your ability. It's blocking your ability to move forward, Chariot, with your own card here. Because this is very much about you and your ability to create and have and perpetuate on your own this beautiful, comfortable space in life for yourself. With the Six of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, again, this is talking about boundaries and knowing who, you know, ooh, and the Six of Cups. This definitely could be about children or a soulmate or you fueling nostalgic thoughts that is deterring you. Like living in the past is definitely going to deter you from your ability to build in the future. The past is gone for a reason, baby. Pull it back. Pull it back. Pull it back. I just got the message, Sands of Time. On the Shores of Time. That was like a poem, right? The Sands of Time. I don't know. But the Six of Crystals talks about needing to know where you invest your energy and how and what the return on that investment is. Know where you're putting your money, if you will, your vibrational money, your emotional money. Know where you're putting it. Know who always comes to you for a handout. Know who makes you feel broke after. Know who makes you feel like the richest, most wealthy person in the world and rectify. Okay, rectify. Because you have the power, Cancer. You have it. You have it. Okay? No one is stealing it from you, but you allowing yourself to think that they are. Yeah, Two of Cups. And Ten of Cups. This definitely has to do with being happy in more of like a family, homey environment. Your ability to create your space, okay? Oh, I need to get you guys an affirmation. I love you guys so much. I think you're the longest reading so far this month. Life supports me in every possible way. For every problem that I may create, I am confident that I can find a solution. Well, gosh, Darlie G. That's it right there. Cancer, I love you so, so, so much. You are the greatest. Thrive, baby, thrive. Peace.